My name's Walk. I live in the city of Wakefield in the UK. I've been involved in network marketing for about 10 years and personally I think it's the finest way of earning a living that there is. But I didn't always think the same. But I'd retired from the police force in 1993. I had qualifications in fitness, exercise and massage, and I started my own business. And I eventually got invited to join a very rapidly growing business in the complementary therapy industry, and after doing due diligence I decided it was worth putting my toe in the ocean, so to speak. But after the honeymoon period, then things started to go a little bit amiss. The former owner, the senior partner, became paranoid and she thought everybody was out to take over the business. It became difficult to work, and the final straw was that I walked into the office one day and she was on the phone, and I listened with horror as she very neatly dropped us right into the middle of a criminal conspiracy. And having spent 30 years as a police officer, I didn't take too kindly to that, and that on top of everything else, I decided that enough was enough, and I left. I tried one or two other things and basically fell over network marketing. I'd heard all the horror stories, all about the scams and the pyramids, and wasn't too impressed. But I did some due diligence and I tried the products and I liked the people and I checked out the company. It was a big company, massive turnover, working in those days in 50 countries around the world, and I decided it was worth a go. Now I hadn't a clue what I was doing. It was ignorance on fire. I was keen, and as they say, ignorance on fire is always better than knowledge on ice. And so I worked hard and over time built a team, and I was earning around about $1,900 to $2,000 a month, which was quite reasonable. I had a good team beneath me. They were all working hard. I was helping them, and everything was going fine. And then over a period of about 6 to 8 weeks, everything went sour. The 5 people in the teams all stopped, and when they stopped, their teams, which comprised their family and friends, well, they stopped as well, and my income of almost $2,000 a month dropped to $450 a month, and then started to get worse. That bit I didn't like. I did what I'd done before. I sort of contacted my list of family, friends and contacts, and I started again, and I kick-started the business, and I must have done this half a dozen times, and it never ever got going again. And so I looked round, I found another opportunity which in a different field altogether, and the same happened there. It never ever took off. There was something wrong, and of course I blame me, because I knew people who were making a good income. I'd even seen the checks. It might be unethical to show what people are earning, but nevertheless they were proud of what they were earning, and checks of anything from £7,000 in sterling, which is what, $14,000, up to $40,000 a month, which is a lot of money. And I thought, well, if they can do it, then so can I. But of course it never happened, and of course I blame me, because I was trying to do what they were doing. Then by pure chance, in I think it was July of 2007, I downloaded an ebook, Success in 10 Steps, and it was a fair chunk. It's a lot of pages, and it was quite refreshing, because it started off by saying this is not your fault. You know, the odds are stacked against you. The way that the businesses are run, the way you're taught to do it, and it focused on the list, saying this business model of making a list of all your contacts, your family, friends, your neighbours, your co-workers, people you go to the gym with, people you socialise with, that business model is broken. It used to work 10-15 years ago, but it's no longer viable. And I thought this was very refreshing, and I must admit it made me feel better. And he told me further that there was a system, a very simple, duplicatable system that could go down many levels, with a program called Mentoring for Free. And this was a new concept, this mentoring for free, because in business you're normally taught it's dog eat dog, it's the devil take the hindmost, and you don't give anything away, you charge for your service. But this was a totally new concept, and once I got through the initial barriers that I'd felt, then I realised that this was the way to go forward. So if you're like me, if you've been trying 1, 2, 3, 4 companies, if you spent from a few hundred to a few $1,000s and you're not having the success that you deserve, if you're not having the success everybody should have, and they're blaming you when you walk away, saying you've quit too soon or you're not focused enough, then please download the ebook. You'll find the address at the bottom of the screen. Just look for the ebook, download it. If you, having read it, think that this is a viable option for you, then I'll be delighted to talk to you. So download the ebook Success in 10 Steps now, and let's see, perhaps this can just bring you the future that you so richly deserve.